Hello, and welcome to Havoc Wargaming, dedicated to bringing you the uncommon. For those of you who haven't met me, my name is Ron, and today we're going to do a box opening / first look review of the new back order project from Blacksite Studios for Don't Look Back. So let's get started. Any longtime viewers of this channel will know that I'm a big fan of Don't Look Back. I've been playing it ever since it first came out. And they just recently revised the rules and came out with a bunch of revisions and upgrades to the game. And they did this as one of their, what do they call it? I think it's backorder projects, backorder something or other. It's probably written on the box. Backroom events. Now this is the backroom event for 2023. It's kind of like their versions of Kickstarters, but it's designed really to start new games. This is not a particularly new game. It was new when they started it. This was the first game that Blacksite Studios ever produced, actually. And what we're going to do right now is talk about some of the things that came in the box that I got. I believe I'm a second tier participant. I have a few other things that I gained. And right off the bat, the first thing I want to talk about is right here. Your Guide to Northwood. It includes a map of Northwood. There's a whole lot more background information for the area of Northwood now, if you want to push more into the lore of Backwood. And this little map is a beginning of that. There's also a map in the new rule book as well. So that's new. This is also new, but this is Pat. For those of you who have played the game before, you'll know that Pat is a character that you save in one of the games. Where is Pat? And they finally decided to make Pat actually a playable figure. So that's there's a resin casting figure for Pat. It's never been clear whether Pat was male or female, and it still isn't, which I think was kind of clever of them. Here's a card for Pat as a player. And this is going to be what the new cards look like. The original Kickstarter, or the original order they did when the game was first released, included a knife measuring device for those of us who participated. There's actually a better version of it now available as an add-on, but we got it for free. And they've done the same thing this time with a cleaver, which is very fitting. Okay, I think this is a killer of some kind. He does look really big to me. It's a guy with a hat on, and I don't know how to show this to you when he's in parts. It's a multi-part figure. He's really tall and thin. I think he's a killer. He's a guy carrying an axe, wearing a hat. If I see a picture of him somewhere along the line, while we go through this box, I'll share it with you. Here's another individual wrapped video character. These are all sorts of things. Yeah, that's what I thought. That figure is huge that I just showed you. I wonder if that's an addition for another game. But I've got this very pulpy looking dame. I don't know how else to describe her in that sort of evening gown. I have the prom king. This is a punk head. A guy in a tuxedo, looks like a 50s rocker fellow. Two women in gowns. I saw this in some of the writing in there somewhere. It's a gentleman in a wheelchair. The prom queen to go with the prom king, and another sort of rocker looking fellow. Quite a lot of figures in there. Again, probably some sort of add-on package. For any of this stuff I should mention, this is part of them not liking Kickstarters, is anything that they do that were optional add-ons in their game will eventually be available. And as of yesterday, they just opened up all of this stuff for regular purchase. So if you haven't participated in it yet, it is available on the normal Blacksite Studios as of right now. These are Asylum Patients. That is a killer expansion, and there is also a killer card for them in here. Oh, this is huge. This is the building. This was kind of exciting to me. It is Sandy's Ranger Station. MDF kit, pretty heavy. Looks like there's a bunch of pieces in here. The also comes with a park sign, a dumpster, and a toilet block. I think I already have those things. I think they came with one of the other things I purchased in the past. That's going to be fun. This is a reward. Apparently, there's two guys in here, specifically for the back order. Now, like I said, these will be available and may already be available on their page. If they're not, they will eventually be, because that's how they work. Black Site Studios, I mean. But this is the Lightkeeper, who I believe is a villain, and a scientist of some kind. I have a bunch of tokens, look like they're for dropped items or found things or something. There's flashlights and backpacks and things like that. Those could be useful. I have the Northwood Killers. This includes the Beast of Northwood, which is the sort of monster thing there. Grayson, a guy armed with a big hammer, and then the Lakeshore Killer, who looks like he's sort of a woodsman-y. This is Grayson there. That's the killer. I hate trying to show you unrebuilt resin figures because they don't look like a whole lot yet, and I don't want to lose parts while I'm showing them to you. That's the Lakeshore Killer, right? So these are some specific Northwood lore characters to fill some of that storyline along. There's a lot in this box. All right, again, no killers. Northwood Killers Volume 2. This comes with the Woodsman, the Living Curse, and Gus. Gus is a guy with a dog. It's a pretty good looking little figure. The Living Curse guy is freaky. He looks kind of like a minion from Carnivale, if you're familiar with those. He's all bent over backwards, his limbs bending the wrong ways. And then the Woodsman looks like, well, a woodsman. Pretty straightforward. Here you can see that. At least I can show you the images on the back of the package. Bloody Depths. Come on in, the water's fine. The Guardians of the Deep have summoned by the Keepers of the Watery Grave. This comes with a crab monster. You can see some of them on the back here. There's a crab monster, 2 small crab monsters, a new killer visage, crab I'm assuming, and Plot, the surf and turf. The scenario is called Surf and Turf. I'm not sure I remember this being in there. Done again in one of their VHS boxes, as they do. Now, these next few I knew were in here. These are basically updates of the things that were already done. So the new Attack of the Greys. This is going to be, I think, pretty similar to the old one, except that it comes with skin catcher aliens instead of Greys. Also, the scenarios from Outsider to Insider. That's clearly a different scenario. There's a killer page, and there's a special agent card. I wonder if this secret agent is in here. Yep, there's an FBI agent. And the 2s are the 3 skin killers. These are not nearly as cute as the Greys that came in the original, but still, that'll be fun and worthy of trying out. I mean, they're wearing other people's skins, so they're kind of creepy. But I'm sure that wasn't by accident. Blood on the Tracks. Again, a remake. This is the sequel expansion to Death on the Line. Boxcar Willie returns after being written off as dead. So there's a new Boxcar Willie in here, more animated than the last one. There's his card. There's a new scenario, Blood on the Tracks. And I'll give you a view of the back of this, give you an idea what the new Chainsaw Willie looks like. The Facility. Boy, there's a lot of these. The Boardroom of Death. Here, there are no golden parachutes. This is Ethan DeGraw Never Looked So Good. It comes with mutated Ethan DeGraw. Ethan DeGraw is Denise's father. And a new plot, The Facility. Facility is also one of the new, I didn't buy that, but that's one of the new things available through all of this Black Order is the DeGraw Facility, where they do awful experiments they probably shouldn't be doing. Here are the new characters, the heroes. So there's item cards, revised item cards. The new cards are in here, so I was mistaken about that. They did come with it. There are some new characters. There's Max the Abs is back. Seth is back. Alice DeGrois is back. Holden Gibson is back. Then there's Ken Hauser, who is apparently a drug dealer. He sells mushrooms. Ranger Sandy is returned. Denise DeGraw, who I mentioned earlier. And Mia Green, who is new. So there's new characters in the basic starting box. There's more characters in here than came there with the original. That'll be fun. The wheelchair guy here is on the back. So those are the characters you can see up on the top here. The figures look a little more dynamic than the other ones did. I'm not sure that I prefer them. But the Quorum. Some of the locals have demanded a meeting of the Chamber of Commerce. Oh, that is a creepy looking figure. Take a look at that thing. Can you guys see that? Right there. That's a mutated Northwood City Council miniature and a new plot. That sounds like fun. They're clearly sinking into the Northwood lore, which is probably really pleasing Matt Burns. He's done a lot of work on Northwood, and it wasn't in the original game much at all. Then the killer. This is a build your own killer set. Comes with a multi-part killer with enough bits to build 2 killers with a large variety of choices. Kind of like the original killer did, though there was only enough parts originally to build 1. 6 Visage cards, 6 MO cards, and 11 trait cards. It says it comes with the mutated Ethan DeGraw miniature and a new plot. And then there's a bonus miniature wrapped up in one of their sort of lunar sealable food packages. Let's see what we got in here. I have no idea what this is. I'm not sure what this is. This again looks like a mutated, maybe DeGraw. It's a guy in a suit. It's clearly mutated. Maybe that's a lab coat. I don't know if you can see him there. I might have to go online and see what he's supposed to be. But he looks like he's probably a mutated doctor or something. He's clearly mutated, and he's wearing something draped over a suit and tie outfit. Now, lastly, the real reason I bought all this. Anybody who's played this game, and certainly anyone who's watched a lot of the reviews of it, including my own, will know that this is a very enjoyable and fun game, but the rules were sometimes a little less clear and somewhat confusingly written. I hate to blame Matt Burns for that. Matt Burns is a great guy, and I consider him kind of a friend. We used to chat quite a bit in the early days of the game, but this was the first game he had ever done, and the first game that Black Sites has ever done. So there's been an awful lot of revisions to clear up some of the difficulties, and it comes with this beautiful hardcover book, the new 2nd edition. I haven't had a chance to read all of this yet, but I have looked at it a bit. There's some beautiful photographs of the painted figures. The role of cinema is still very much alive. That telling the better story is what matters. In fact, they've really put that out there, giving it a whole page to talk about it. The rules are laid out very, very well. Full table of contents here. It does have a couple of chapters talking about the basics, the lore of Northwood, if you want to concern yourself with that. And then a whole breakdown of how the game plays, including what they're now calling universal rules. There's descriptions of some of those killers that I mentioned earlier from the Killers of Northwood. There's now advanced roles to give more depth to the game. Chapters for detailing roles the characters holding out against stomach-churning odds. There's rules, all the rules needed for playing a killer called the antagonist. That's actually allowing a player of the game to play. This is stuff they've taken from some of their expansion books. There's the director, which is sort of a game master, so it can be played in a more game master and players fashion. Trilogies, which is their version of campaigns. Visions trilogy, the first trilogy they wrote that came out in an earlier set, is in here, as well as the Corporate Casualties trilogy, and references and cards. The book is really a very strong step forward from where the game was. Checking to see right now, there's the building I mentioned earlier. That's the facility, DeGraw's business. There's a full index too, also really going to be helpful. So this is some real improvements forward. Quick action and long action cheat sheet on there. Very, very good. The quick reference, there's like 6 pages of quick references here. I'm not sure how quick that is. But examples of all the different things that are on the different item cards and MO cards, so you could roll them if you didn't have the cards or something like that. Very, very strong. I'm really excited about this project, the improvements that have been made with this book, and I very much look forward to getting it out onto the table. So, wow, a lot of stuff in this box. Well worth the wait. Well worth the investment, I think, particularly. I mean, there's tons of stuff here. Looking forward to bringing it and sharing it with you guys here. I'm really looking forward to painting everything. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, or if you enjoy this game yourself, go ahead and let me know in the comments section down below. Also, if you have any ideas for other content you'd like to see us produce here on Try Havoc Wargaming, we look at the comment section for that as well. If you've enjoyed the video, I hope you'll hit like. And if you'd like to continue to receive notification for videos like this one that may help you determine how to better spend your time or money in your tabletop wargaming hobby, then I hope you'll hit subscribe and ring our notification bell. Till next time, cheers.